Hello? Calling out to any random, non-kill crazed passerby who can hear this? Yes, you! I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions. Find me in the renovated grain silo. Help me formulate a cure.
Climb the ladder with impressive speed.
There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
What do you mean you're leaving?
Shift's over! I have a life outside this place, you know.
A life outside our lab? No. No. Audacious advances requires commitment. Absolute commitment! Commencing termination.
Those guards are mighty agitated. And some are wearing gas masks. Yeah, something ain't right here. We should be cautious.
Presently persist in a state of ceaseless perturbation.
Got some bad company.
Graph's itchy. Aggressors.
You there? Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you? Scream twice for yes. Could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elmid Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Oh, all that pleading and the like. Yes, well, it's only my second time trapped in a laboratory basement, and I do admit, I did panic just a little. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Well, you'd certainly think so, but management sets the goals. Our humble research team works to deliver. Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel, inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success. Well, of course, succeeding in a haphazard fashion is one of the first courses taught to Auntie's Choice students in any field. But yes, I am something of a visionary. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter, if you are capable of following simple instructions, I'm sure I can guide you through it. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? Oh, my favorite topic. By all means, fire away. Our lab's focus is the utilization of local flora and fauna in development of commercial products and proprietary methods. Anything else before we set to it? Yes, the Protectorate formerly utilized it for seed storage or something equally prosaic. Nothing as provocative as groundbreaking research. But as much as I'd love to natter on, we probably ought to get matters underway. We'll need two things: fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order. with your skilled assistance, of course. Fresh spores will be key in the formulation of an antidote, as will the particulars and analysis from the expedition. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds, a satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Typical Auntie's choice, moving fast and breaking things.
Dead lab worker, unarmed. Could be they were trying to interfere with the others, but to what end?
Locked and loaded.
Just get the signal.
Look alive, Commander.
Goodwin here. Field report update. We are approaching the Raptidon den. These beasts have exhibited excessive irritability as of late. We endeavor to determine why. Surely the red spores aren't to blame. Wind-borne spores lack the catalytic agent of our food additives. Only way to be certain is to gather a stool sample. Simple enough. A routine task for the Audacious Advances field team. Quiet now as we approach the rap's nest. Certainly this spirited variety will offer... Oh, no! Oh, okay. We need to run now!
Armed and ready. Liquidate him!
Ready to waste this one. Just a minute.
Foraging time's over. We should have what we need.
My most favorite, least homicidal subordinate. How's all our fieldwork progressing? Absolutely gorgeous. Look at you. And to think I just forcibly coerced the first gormless dunderhead who walked by and found you. Lucky me. Now, first things first. Place the data cartridge in the drawer for me, right here, in the slot below my intercom. Aha! Allow me to give this a cursory eyeball and... perfect! I'm sure we have the correct neutralizing agent here in the lab. I'll nose out the exact compound within our chemical reserves in 2 shakes of a rat's tail. Well, it's a textbook example of the medulla oblongata wagging the cerebellum. Although, frankly, there's a plethora of ways to stimulate the reptile brain into such a flurry. None of the previous methods were anywhere close to being this commercially viable. But where there's a will, there's a way to make a profit. Honestly, this whole process is 1 part scientific testing, 2 parts improvisation, and a dash of pure, undiluted panache. Exactly what we do best. But it's only a matter of time. Oh, this might work out yet. Auntie may ignore our recent setbacks if I deliver an easy-to-market product. Just imagine the ad slogans. Air, now with extra fractiousness. Though, I suppose it only works on other Auntie's Choice employees, not our preservative-free rivals. Ah, there. I have determined the ideal counteragent. Here you are. Place it and the spore samples into that synthesizer. Enable the device and it will beget a working antidote momentarily. Return with it directly as soon as it does, if you please. I cannot wait to put this entire sordid affair behind us. Though in the end, this should turn out to be quite a lucrative day. I saw you working the chemical synthesizer. I presume you were successful in creating an antidote? Good, good. Place the antidote into the slot here. I'll insert it into the air filtration system. That will cycle it throughout the area and cure all afflicted. When backup arrives and releases me, I'll run a tally of all here who survived. Not to boast, but I'd say this wildly dangerous experimental agent was quite effective. You can be sure that management and I will see it's put to good use. I may even get a promotion off this. Wonderful, wonderful! Knew you seemed a bankably reliable sort. All right. I am activating the air filtration system. There. Should only take a few moments for the antidote to circulate. Everyone still alive should be right as rain shortly. Marvelous. You'll find your remuneration in the chest behind me. My supervisor will hear of your actions. Oh, and before I forget, I, Omid Ormsby, under the power granted me by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, hereby free you from impressed service to Auntie's Choice. Be seeing you. transaction all around. Also, a significant breakthrough and profitable day for our visionary lab.
Mind your own business interests.
The scene when we arrived. Any idea what happened?
Yeah.
Lacking the appropriate
me know when you needed a stretch.
Looks like a fight. It's a brawl. Time to earn my commission.
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign.
Huh.
devised
Well,
paradigm,
at least it's not shooting the water anymore.
where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species...
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile.
Hogarth? Milver Street reckons he's the key to converting this town. Let's bring him the good news of Auntie's choice, shall we?
Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient...
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope, as our home, and devised the paradigm as a great way to maintain it.
Our enemies envy our
appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott.
Depletion of resources and...
Why, that's wonderful. I'm actually quite relieved a fellow customer like yourself somehow saw through my carefully maintained act. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
Community, purpose, time for recreation.
Why, they are certainly inspiring. There's this one character who just laughs at danger, says he hand makes his own luck. Is that not the grandest thing you ever heard? You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret, I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
You are the raw material.
How I've waited to hear those words. Anything I might help with at present?
We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
Really? What was he like? Bold, assertive, with a wildly obstreperous theatrical air?
The matriarch chose...
An audacious proposal. Yet this place, despite its recent humidity, remains comfortable and familiar.
And rich natural resources represent...
With a full case, I might gorge upon such sweet goodness morning, noon, and night. All right, hand it over. Oh, but what would vigilant Hogarth say? What would everyone say? I can scarcely imagine it. Abandoning my community only to satisfy my gastronomical urges and risk-taking attitude. No, I couldn't leave unless Hogarth ordered everyone to go.
Unbalanced, even the most...
I'd say so, but I'm not some highly skilled subversive type or some such. You are. I'm certain you can find a way. Somehow. As a recent convertee to Auntie's Choice, I'd be honored to share my maverick, individualist perspective. Well, I can tell you someone who thinks he's important. Pinckney. Ever since he became interim chief mechanist, he's been crying day and night about that generator. If anything happens to that thing, I worry for his mind.
Extra added zeal.
Of course. Toodaloo.
Said any minor disruption.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not
Greetings, non-protectorate wretches. With regret, I must inform you that those outside our glorious society may not take freely from our stocks, as our subjects do. However, I may offer you a limited selection of premium items for moderate respective fees. Initiating.
treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community.
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't gift us the paradigm, and we were left to scramble for purpose and profit like Auntie's workers.
The paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign
I just feel sad for them. It's even in their name. Auntie's choice.
Huh, don't take your meaning.
They don't have the balanced hand of a sovereign. Just a normal person making random and perfect decisions.
terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Unneeded.
Consider finding a human companion if you seek conversation.
Of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. Sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed where if each of us does
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses.
But then, how do I cook the fish?
Well, it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting. You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. Don't suppose you have any medical supplies to spare, do you? That you might kindly consider donating? Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you.
My extra parts aren't side effects. That's your implication. And anyhow, I should think some minor side effects would be preferable to dying.
Ah, you do look like you know what you're talking about. All right. On behalf of my patients and I, thank you. We're all grateful. Guess outsiders aren't all just base individualists like they say on the wireless. Barring this being some tricky sales strategy, that is. This is a good start, but I fear it won't last long. Wouldn't happen to know a reliable means to procure more, would you? They'd sell to us? Those medicaments you gave us before? No, never. You must think me easily hoodwinked. Our societies are sworn enemies. This is dangerous talk, friend. We've already been branded traitors. If we give them any excuse now, they'll send in the arbiters directly. Not seeing a wealth of options here at present. I can watch my patients die, then face execution, or we can resettle elsewhere and remain alive. I lean toward the latter. The abandoned section of Westport ought to have some supplies. Should be enough medicaments down there to help our injured survive the trip to Fairfield. It's perilous, though. Well now, that should do nicely. Thank you. Hope those crabbles didn't give you too much trouble. I recognize these patients require more care than I'm able to provide here. Seems like in Fairfield, I can get them the help they require. The one last additional thing we'll need is for Vigilant Hogarth to agree to it. It's less a concern about disloyalty, and more my respect for his abilities. He's a skilled leader, and we could sorely use his aid, from coordinating logistics to keeping up morale. I'll surely have my hands full with my patients. His presence on the journey would save lives. All right, be careful out there.
Has the Sovereign said how many of those pills were each allowed? It must be at least a fistful more.
Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of perfect symmetry.
You've returned.
This unit's current work task takes priority over conversation. Farewell.
Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. I beg to differ. Those walls have stood for over a century and would easily have stood for another, were it not for Auntie's greed and envy, and explosives. That is unlikely, as they are too ignorant to see our obvious superiority. Our society was built from the bedrock up, through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all, unlike those corporate colonies, where it's every person for themselves. Personal freedom is just another way to encourage selfish consumerism. Why we've even eradicated manual labor through our perfection of auto mechanicals. Can aunties claim such? That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence? Auto mech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts. We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts. Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcement we're obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs. Well, obviously, we've forsaken our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long. My linguistic embellishments are somewhat beside the point. This here's a matter of accountability. Responsibility was mine. Disgrace and judgment should be mine solely as well. My intention is to absolve my subjects of any and all such blame. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Our enemies envy our
Of course. Abandon every last ideal to climb the rungs of the corporate ladder. A trifling matter to be executed with an insouciant air.
Well, it's either that or die here with all dignity tossed asunder. Be smart. Take the deal.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. I have the aid of key pillars of our community. Several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me. And our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers.
Affords us a perfect life of contentment and plenty.
I don't know. Look, I've entertained these fool notions of yours long enough. There's no use pursuing such a fruitless line of thinking further. I have a brighter future in mind for Westport, one you can help with, in fact, rather than dwelling on dark maybes and scenarios of worst imagining. Not the first to question my judgment, nor the last, I suppose. One expects a certain lack of social graces from those raised outside the Protectorate. Let us talk plainly. What would it take to secure your aid? Certainly. What would you like to know? If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such. Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. It's a gamble, no arguing that. But anything else is simply giving up and waiting for the end. What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need. Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Difficult place to saunter into. Stations off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here. Farewell now.
We are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows.
Hey, Commander. Could I have a word with you real quick? I hope you're not seriously considering helping the Protectorate here. I know these folks seem on the down and out, but we're as like to do more harm than good by siding with them. I'm not in favor of one party over the other. It just worries me that we might be involving ourselves in something we have no business in. No, Commander, you're right. It's just, that hasn't always worked out so well. For me, in the past, Reviving Westport would anger some folks back in Fairfield, but there's no question the Vigilant could help us get into the Vox Station a whole heck of a lot easier. Your heart's rightly placed, Commander, but past experience has taught me that sometimes helping causes more harm than good. That's all I'm getting at. Given the condition of this place, I'd assume no shortage of willing spirits eager for a way out. But then, reason's sometimes hard to come by with the Protectorate. Before you make a decision one way or the other, let's ask around. See what the residents have to say. No use trying to lift up those attached to the muck.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all...
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't gift us the paradigm, and we were left to scramble for purpose and profit.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native
Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. I mean, sure. All the underlying logic's the same, if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which were a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able. I think he's bearing up admirably given recent events. Which, of course, are completely fine, and we are all in no way concerned about. The system being resilient and all. Hogarth's reliable as the Arcadian sun. I mean, I know it'll burn out in about 12 billion years and all, but considering our meager lifespan, that's plenty dependable enough for me. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides. Curativist Row is a fine sword, pillar of our community. Might impatient, sure, but with how busy she is, we'd all do well to respect her time. Watch out for that Weintraut fellow. Talk your ear off if you let him. Kinda lonesome, but doesn't let anybody near his place for some reason. Even before the flooding. Everybody else? Decent enough, I guess. Well, mechs do all the heavy work for us in the Protectorate. Just like each of us, each type of mech has their assigned specialty. Takes a little doing, but you can readjust them. The combat mech can be reconfigured to oversee comestible distribution, for instance. Or mine or harvest crops. All you need is the know-how to retool their subroutines. And the right parts. Plenty of parts. Granted, reprogrammed mechs are never as efficient as those specially made for a role, but they get by, eventually. After a fashion. Even if I did ever fall prey to such treacherous whimsy, you think I'd be fool-headed enough to admit it to a stranger? Look like I've been kicked by an automech or something? I mean, void damn. Vigilant Hogarth's still here. No matter how bad it gets, keeps us going. Keeps us right. Folks like him prove the paradigm is aligned with the Architect's plan. You just gotta trust the rightful guidance of the Vigilance and the Sovereign. Funny. I reckon that's more true of them over in Fairfield. They love their substandard comestibles and lack of fellowship. Smacks a bit of conspicuous inveiglement to me. Sure feel sorry for them. Maybe someday after we, well, utterly crush their forces and disprove their bent philosophy, we can show them all a right, better way to live. Why, things need to severely decline around here for me to even consider... Oh, shut my mouth. Could never leave our fine Vigilant in the lurch. Fairfield. Well, probably should keep my voice down, but we lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course. Outsider.
To govern it, the monkey.
What can I do for you this time? See our acting quartermaster, Hazel. She'll know where the parts are and attend to the transaction.
Welcome. Glad to have you back. All right, I admit it. The quartermech still needs work, but perfection requires iteration, as the marshal says. While he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. There wouldn't be much point. Much as I'm fond of the quartermech, it couldn't even tell you the time of day. You're not implying the quartermech is somehow responsible, are you? I'd hate for the big guy to get in trouble. All right, that's good news, I believe. You go on and find your parts while I ponder the mystery of what was just said. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
I assume you two have met already? Delphinia? No. I doubt she stole what I would have given her freely. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
My erstwhile assistant returns. To what do I owe the pleasure? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off limits while I'm working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Until a more convenient date and time.
Howdy there. Glad to hear it. Any progress? Not what I'd call conclusive evidence. This facility recently caught a blow to the chin, and I don't recall if a loader bot was among the casualties. Still, there may be more to find. Interesting. But what connection do you perceive between this behavior and the disappearance of the supplies? I know the supplies can't have gone far. Beyond that, I leave the investigation in your hands. Let me know how it goes. I do love a good mystery. Need something? Or just here to talk? The roof! How could I have missed that? In retrospect, the problem is glaringly obvious. The quartermech couldn't figure out where to stack boxes on the x-axis, so it defaulted to the y-axis. I'll have that tinkered on shortly. And you're welcome to keep the automech parts, of course. Thanks for solving my little mystery.
Ray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality.
Look who's back.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous.
Do me a favor. Keep out from underfoot. And away from that generator. Need it running to power our mechs. Anyhow, what do you need? I assume those are approved Protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there. What? Oh, yes. Goodbye.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand.
Welcome back.
And plenty.
Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind.
We sleep well at night.
That is most excellent. Please, hand them over.
Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have
Sincerest thanks. Now, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose. Correct. At least if you want to emerge safely out the other side. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It'd save many lives. The Vox relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing Protectorate law.
keep doing your job with pride.
Why, isn't it obvious? As vigilant, I was his commander, and without my guidance, he was lost. All manner of chaos seems to be the order of the day at the station. Executions done in the service of order are an unfortunate necessity. Done at the whim of an individual, well, that's just one more depravity Antes has wrought upon us. A true subject of the Protectorate lives and dies by their ideals. There is another who I am sure feels the same way. Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox relay, conscript him with the writ, and this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen.
Envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community,
If Corbin becomes the highest-ranking officer alive, no one will be able to contradict his accounting of events. The Protectorate execute connivers and schemers. Corbin must appear forced to take down Montelli in the moment. It cannot feel like a plotted coup. Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare. Oh, I don't doubt your abilities, but the prospects remain exceedingly poor. The facility is exceptionally well guarded, and forces there are the pinnacle of Protectorate training. Even if you succeed, it's only a matter of time before the Arbiter arrives to administer my sentence. Any chances of me avoiding my fate are quite slim, I fear. Farewell now.
Strenuous or stressful, food is nutritious and plentiful.
You have your orders. The Vox relay awaits. Do remember what I asked of you. Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse.
We're all in this together.
Well, that's what's commonly referred to as your opinion. Farewell now.
Chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect eco. The native flora and fauna. Complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We don't know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those meddlesome raptidons, or base individualists within Anti's choice. Don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain.
This is D.B. Milver Street of Fairfield with a special one-time...
That doesn't sound like a sanctioned communique.
The announcer's voice is so smooth, mellifluous, persuasive.
That in Auntie's Choice, we don't pre-select your assignment at birth? It's true. No computronic doodads, no politics. Just good old-fashioned freedom. In fact, the former Protectorate subject...
Advertisements help Auntie's folks straighten out their minds. Is it their version of our mental refreshment?
No, it feels like some kind of punishment. In fact, it feels like Auntie hates me.
Brand of autonomous self-determination for yourselves. So pack your bags and get ready to think for yourself, choose for yourself, buy for yourself. With Auntie's Choice, your lives will be transformed for the best.
Why choose just any choice?
That didn't sound like prudence at all. Got something on my mind. Did you hear that message over the loudspeakers? About choosing your chosen profession? That Milver Street fellow said in Fairfield you can, if I understood correctly, opt for any job you show proficiency. Could that truly be true? Or is it a base falsity foisted by Auntie's Choice to, you know, undermine Protectorate subjects' unflagging resolve. Oh, and they hire you too. You're not simply assigned a role, but you, I guess, need to prove competence? And maybe even expertise? What? Oh, yes. Goodbye.
We say you're just part of the herd. At Auntie's Choice, we respect the individual. We're providers.
Exciting news! The Vigilance sent that outsider to collect automatic parts for us.
And they just returned. The system abides.
Personally, it's never too late to rebrand and start anew. Join us and embrace freedom. Revel in choice. Auntie's Choice.
Certainly don't want to sound like I'm questioning the paradigm, but why would the paradigm shut down all the automechs?
You're not questioning the paradigm. Sounds remarkably like questioning the paradigm. Maybe it's time for a little mental refreshment.
Listen to your hearts. Come to Fairfield, bastion of the weary, and join the winning.
These new official announcements sure are confusing. Why, you got a right serious look in your eye. What happened? No, that's not... That's what that sound was? It exploded. Been trying not to fret unduly after every random little kaboom around here. Didn't realize it... That's it, I'm afraid. Just a matter of time before these automechs run out of power. Then it's good night, Westport. Whatever are all of us gonna do now? Nothing more I can do here, that's for sure. If it weren't for Vigilant Hogarth, I do believe I'd scupper off to... well, you know where. Yeah. You convince him, I'm in. But I owe him enough I wouldn't abandon him for nothing.
Our Jiffy Mail Order Division informs it is now offering the Pen Pharmacon 5 walk-in industrial microwave. Originally developed for secretive research laboratories for purposes we may only guess at, the Pen Pharmacon 5 is now available to you.
I'm very curious how the town is going to function without the generator.
Yes. Without it, we have no auto mechanicals. Without them, we'll have to do the work with our hands?
I'm sure this is all part of the paradigm.
Night sweats and collectivism. Not recommended for longer than 1 second at a time. Not responsible for temporary or permanent damage to eyes.
The wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
The Sovereign really does think of everything.
Auntie's Choice makes a cream for it. Our recreant reclamation and artificial additive. Announced its latest innovation.
People have been complaining about those ads playing. I'm inured to all manner of hollering.
That endless yattering is more insipid than I'd imagined. You have your orders. The Vox relay awaits. Do remember what I asked of you. What utter nonsense. How can you say that? Now, when I have automech parts in hand. No, your timing is absurd. Your wit, witless. Do tend to differ. Seems to me we're persevering, demonstrating a mixture of aplomb, grit, and tenacity even. Last I checked, our infrastructure is still plugging away, and our people are too. But it's not everyone, is it? I'm sure it's not. The majority of my subjects are steadfastly loyal, resolute, right as rain. Oh, I would love to argue that this is not the case, but I fear you are correct. This war, this devastation, it can't be denied they've taken their toll. Ultimately, I regard their well-being above all, but the joke is on you, really, and them, I suppose. Don't you see? We're all traitors. I no longer hold any authority over anyone. But if they still wish my blessing, it is theirs. My former subjects are free to live an empty life with Auntie's choice. I'll make an announcement. Order them to depart for Fairfield. But I will be staying. Should I? Haven't I failed them enough for one lifetime? No. I will stay here and loyally await the judgment I richly deserve. Adherents are expected to hold firm to the end. Such is the degree of our devotion. Oh, come now. I am a vigilant of the Protectorate. I have endured untold hardships, countless battles. What's a little advertising? Oh, it never stops. The tumult of duplicitous lies. You're right. I can't withstand this inane onslaught much longer alone. At least in Fairfield, I'll have company in adversity. Unsure how I'll endure such an empty existence. Perhaps, if I offer my old subjects periodic advice, our sense of community may somehow, despite the wiles of commercialism, remain. All right then. Suppose it's time to make my announcement.
This is the proud maker of Spacer's Chaw, Zero-G Brew, and antibiotics. Everything you need to get through your day.
I want to speak plainly to the citizens of the Protectorate.
Attention, everyone. Attention. I, Vigilant Ogden Hogarth, hereby do order all subjects under my command to abandon the settlement of Westport at the earliest possible juncture. You are to depart for the township of Fairfield, safely and together. Once there, you are to appeal to local authorities for citizenship with Auntie's choice. Thereupon, you are thus and forevermore relieved of your duties as subjects of the Protectorate. This is a direct order from your Vigilant and is not to be questioned and cannot be countermanded. Now see to your preparations. I will join you shortly. Need a moment to let this all settle in. I will be on my way by and by.
This is all going perfectly according to the paradigm, I guess. I just can't wait for it to be going more perfectly again.
Hope I don't get assigned to a grafting lab in Fairfield. Don't want to have to transplant a raptidon head onto some poor so-and-so's body.
A perfect society demands perfect thoughts.
Reckon I'll miss this place.
Likewise.
Yeah.
If the Vigilance says go to Fairfield, we go to Fairfield then.
I look forward to a new life of audacious self-determination and unregulated consumption of sugary sweets.
Just hope the Arbiters don't get sore about us leaving.
Well, we've been ordered.
Think they're gonna open us with welcome arms? I meant to say... Huh. Suppose I am a mite nervous. Big changes afoot. Big changes.
Nature made apples, but Auntie Fizzo's made them better with Auntie Cleo's patented hot apple cider.
Can't believe some of those Protectorate hull heads just couldn't see the benefit of self-betterment.
Let them simmer in their cells for a spell. Less able bodies muscling in on our contracts.
Just got mine stamped and signed. Officially on the payroll for another 78 days, including today. Not that I'm counting.
Too much Spacer's Ale? Try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. Good for what?
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Well, maybe I am drunk. Drunk on bold ideas.
Why do you linger? Do you enjoy watching us so abased?
You've lifted my spirits right out of their doldrums. Our new guests have just arrived. Here, a considerable reward for your considerable efforts. Had anyone asked, I would have bet a year's pay against your capturing the hearts and minds of the denizens of Westport, and it seems I would have been out a great deal of bits. I've two minds about the convertees. Anyone with eyes can see they need guidance, but a pernicious system is not easily abandoned. Have you any thoughts? I have a second cousin in experimental product design who's been working on a supplement for just that. Though most of her prototypes result in projectile eye bleeding, you've given me a great deal to think about. I am in your debt. I cannot overstate what a capital compatriot you've been, my friend. Now be off. I've many refugees to see to. I believe Vigilant Hogarth mentioned he presented you with a writ of conscription that should ease your entrance. I believe that should be more than sufficient. Now, should you ever find yourself visiting the ACS Undisputed Claim, do come see me. I've no doubt that when we next meet, I'll have risen 6 ranks, at least. Farewell! What? But you... Oh, fie. Here are some bits for your trouble. Now, off with you.